The Mentalist revolves around a former celebrity psychic, Patrick Jane, who works as a consultant in the CBI to solve crimes with his impressive observational skills. This is where he meets agent Teresa Lisbon and her team. But in reality, season 1 takes place around 5 years after the two have met. And I think it's safe to say that their relationship goes on to become what I consider one of the best slow burns in TV history.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
So, why do Jane and Lisbon work so well together? There's not one right answer, but for the sake of this video, I've broken mine down into 3 points. Number 1, the chaos and the calm. Yes, I'm going exactly where you think I am. Opposites attract is a trope that you can never go wrong with. I mean, this trope has given us so many iconic couples, be it in movies or TV shows. From the very first episode, the behavior of both characters sort of sets the premise for how their relationship grows in the future episodes.
Sorry I went over your head. I'll redeem myself, I promise.
Just like many procedural shows from its time, a typical episode of The Mentalist usually begins with a case being introduced to the team and mostly ends with Jane doing every possible thing to get on everyone's nerves. He manages to solve the case with a dramatic reveal concluding the episode. It is in these episodes where we see how patient Lisbon is with Jane and how unapologetic he is while pulling these shenanigans.
I don't think it's very professional.
Seriously? Don't push me.
This sets up a perfect balance of her calm and his chaos. It's evident that even after years of knowing each other, this difference stays alive and continues to form a contrasting element in their relationship, thus evolving their characters to grow with one another rather than changing themselves. Their differences make every case they work on twice as interesting because, let's be honest, their banter works every time.
Bite me?
It's too much?
A smidge. Worked.
Number 2, Red John. I know this is a very weird point to have in this video, but I feel we don't give this aspect of their relationship enough credit, and rightly so. Given that in the earlier seasons, we mostly see a huge difference between Jane and Lisbon when it comes to catching the serial killer, Red John. Lisbon maintains her moral compass, attempting to stop Jane from getting himself in trouble, and Jane, being Jane, does everything in his power to do just that. The conclusion, Red John gets away. Now, we have to give him some benefit of doubt as we later get to know that Red John himself is some sort of psychic. But I feel like him being alive made it almost impossible for Jane to even think about getting romantically involved with Lisbon. Let's not forget Christina, who ended up losing her mind after trying to pursue Red John. I feel like this sort of stopped Patrick from pursuing Teresa or even thinking about her romantically, as he himself said.
Anybody that gets close to me, bad things happen to them.
A part of him relived the heinous crimes that Red John had committed all those years ago through Christina. The season 4 finale sort of confirms this when Jane confesses his love for Lisbon and immediately denies it after. I mean, if he really was worked up, he'd have no problem talking about it. That's not the case. But time and again, Jane promises Lisbon to not lose control and asks her to trust him. But it's almost like somewhere in her heart, even she knows that he'd do anything to take revenge for his family, that he'd go to extremes to catch this man, like he said he would all those years ago. And so she gives up. This is perfectly depicted in season 6, episode 8, titled Red John, when Jane finally tracks down his arch nemesis and the entire team collectively risks their jobs, only for the episode finale ending Jane's decade-long obsession with this man to end with him calling Lisbon to say goodbye.
It's over. It's done.
Also, can we take a minute to talk about the letters? Yeah, I cried throughout that entire episode. Never mind. Number 3, trust and growth. I know this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyways because I can. One thing that stays consistent throughout the show isn't Jane yelling Lisbon or Teresa eye-rolling at him at any possible time. It's the trust they build over the years. But almost all the couples have this in their relationship, right? The fact that they trust each other more than any person in the world. What makes Jane and Lisbon stand out is the fact that it's almost like their trust for each other is like a huge bubble. The more they go through, the more it expands, but there are instances, even in season 7, when they still get hurt and it feels like we're back to level 0, popping that bubble of trust.
You could have died. How is that different?
Me dying it doesn't hurt me.
In the last season, after Jane and Lisbon have been dating for a while, we see these characters navigate their relationship in a way that makes you wonder if they even know what they're doing. It's the beauty of being in that dilemma and fighting with each other for each other that makes them who they are, and yet makes them stand out from their selves from the previous seasons. Jane getting overprotective about Lisbon and even risking his life for her perfectly depicts Jane's character that we have seen for 7 seasons. He's not this new changed man, evolved, yes, but not changed. He remains himself, but in a different way. Similarly, Lisbon continues to give Jane space and respects his boundaries until she doesn't. She gets restless and finally questions him, resulting in them having an argument. Something we talked about in the previous points. What makes this dynamic work is the comfort you feel when you see these two on your screen. The longing stares, the giggles, honorable mention to the chair pull from the last episode, all make you feel the warmth the characters project to one another. A huge credit also goes to the actors playing them, given how natural all of it feels, thus making it an extremely beautiful ride. They work on cases as a couple, and while you miss the banter, I feel like them flirting kind of makes up for it, thus not letting us miss the time of their relationship, and they were more than friends but less than lovers.